Alright, we're going to be listing out our measurements. The underbust 12.5, half length is 16, the knee length is 34, the knee length some inches before the knee 34, the full length is 59. So you need to get all those lengths first, all your measurements ready. I'm working with shoulder 15, bust is 34, underbust circumference is 28, the waist is 30, and the hip measurement is 36. Now the first thing to do after getting all your measurements is you get all your circumference measurements, which are the bust, underbust, the waist, and the hip measurements. You're going to add 8 inches to all the circumference measurements, and then you divide by 4. You are still going to get the same results when you divide your measurements by 4 and add 2 inches. So 38 plus 8 divided by 4 is what I'll be doing. So 11 inches is our highest circumference measurement. If you're folding your fabric, it means you'll be working with that 11, but if you're using your pattern paper like mine, you don't need to bother. So I'm going to take 16 inches out, which is minus 16 being the half length, and we are going to be focus on the base, that's the skirt part of our dress. So 34 is the knee length, and the full length is 59. So I'm just going to make it 60. You can make it 61, you can make it 62. Just add the inches for folding, because it's a lace fabric that I'm working with. I'm not going to add excess allowance to mine. So just draw your lines. Let's move to the waist measurement. Waist measurement from our underbust circumference from the calculation is 9. So you take the underbust, you take the waist, which is 9.5. You can then get the distance between your waist and the hip measurements. You can get the distance between that. For some people it's 6. Just get the measurement, then you mark your hip measurements, which is 11. Then now at the knee area, you're going to subtract 1 inch from your 11 inches, so it becomes 10. If you like, you can subtract 1.5, you can subtract 2 inches, depending on how much curve you want to create. So the 10 inches goes all the way to the base of my dress, of my pattern. Then you can connect your points. Now we are going to cut out the fabric. I am going to be spreading the base of my dress, more like a fish style. Yes, it's a fish style. So the pattern, I'll just spread it out. The more you can continue to spread as much as you want. Here is what we have. I'm going to place the front to cut the back, and remember to add your zipper allowance. You can add 1 inch, you can add 2 inches for the zipper allowance. So you open it up, that's the back piece. You have to slit for your zipper all the way down. Next, we're going to be cutting the lining. So all you need to do is place your fabric to cut. You cut for the front, you also cut for back. Now on your fabric, the way I have cut out two different linings. On the first, you can iron your stay. If you want to iron your stay, you iron the stay on the first lining, which is going to serve as the support fabric. That's just the main fabric. And then you have the other lining as your main lining. Now we move to cutting out the half length, that's the half bodice. And what we do is take the 16 inches, which is the half length. The under bust is 12.5, so I'm making it 13. The armhole is 8.5 inches, which is our basic armhole length. So let's just mark it out. We have the shoulder 15 inches, we have bust 34, under bust 28, waist 30, and the hip 36 inches. To the circumference measurements, I am going to add extra 2. We are going to be measuring the bust circumference measurement. So that's 10.5 inches. We are going to be taking all our circumference measurement. This is under bust and half length. So the under bust circumference is below the under bust length. That is 9. Now to all the measurements, there is additional 2 inches. So the bust, which is 10.5, becomes 12.5. So the shoulder is 7.5 plus 2 becomes 9.5 inches. So you add extra 2 inches to the measurement. So let's draw out the shape of our pattern that we have on the pattern. The next thing we are going to do is measure 1.5 inches at this point. Then we get the midpoint of our 8.5 inches, which is 4.25. And what we do is come in by 0.5 inches in order to trim out the excess there. Now we are going to be measuring 4 inches, which is our dart measurement. So you can use your bust span to get that. Then here on the armhole, you can go with any measurement of your choice: 4 inches, 3 inches, 3.5. It just depends on the measurements you want. And then you connect your princess darts. Connect your princess darts like that all the way to the base. Next is to get the nipple points from the under bust measurement, which is 3 inches. Then from the dart measurement, you're going to take 1.5 inches from your dart line all the way to the under bust. Then here on the armhole, you take 1 inch. So you connect from 1 inch to your bust points, and from the under bust, we will connect to the bust points as well. Now, on the body, we do not have any points that goes in that is sharp, so you can just curve it out. You curve out the points, you curve it out so you can have a round figure. So the next thing we are going to do is cutting out the neckline. And to do that, you can go with any measurement of your choice: 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. It depends on your choice. And also the depth, I'm marking out 4 inches, and I'm going to connect like this. Next is to measure our 1 inch, which is the shoulder slope. So from the neckline, you're going to connect to the 1 inch like this. So cut out all the patterns. so we can cut on our fabric. Place your pattern to cut your fabric and also to cut your lining, to cut the wording. And we'll be needing two of this. So we are going to cut two pieces each. But before then, here I am marking out 6 inches, which is the yoke um part of my dress. 6 inches is what I want to use, and that's so all you just need to do is connect the point. If you still want to bring it down lower than 6 inches, you can go with any measurements that you want. So I'm going to be replacing that with a net fabric, and I'll need two of it. I'm cutting out two. Remember to add your allowance of about half an inch while cutting. So place all your fabric to cut the wording, to cut your lining. Make sure you iron your stay and your wording on your fabric. Cut out your basic sleeve as well, your desired sleeve. You can go on with any type of sleeve. So remember to leave your comments in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and you need to turn on your notification bell to get notified each time I upload a new video, which is every week. Till I see you next class. Stay cool. Bye.